Population 1 is a fun game that recently came out as free on the Oculus Store, hence the weird recording format. Oculus records a bit weird. I'm not going to come in here and say it's the second coming of Christ or anything. It absolutely didn't change my perspective on gaming or VR really at all. If you're not going to stick around long, a basic rundown of the game is VR's Fortnite, a mid to low range shooter style game aimed at selling young, impressionable children massive amounts of worthless in-game content. So, standard business practice these days. Anyways, what it really did for me was tell me that I have a special approach to guns in VR. After your tutorial thing where it teaches you some of the very bare necessities, it's kind of lacking, but we'll get into that later. You are sent to this training thing, which I immediately muted myself in because I do not want to be seen talking to myself like an absolute sociopath.
You know those memes that are like, what makes people feel power or whatever, right? And this is, screw money and status and wealth and all that. Guns make me feel power!
So is the life of a YouTuber. While other people were carefully aiming and stuff, I just took advantage of the rapid fire aspect of the SMG, and I just mowed these targets down, just like the kindergartners.
Contest? Oh. Dude, I don't go for accuracy. I got weapons and an SMG. What are you talking about? Look, I have plenty of experience with this in the real world. Look, you guys have been playing this game. I've been doing this my entire life. Come on. Toddlers. I've got an SMG with 800, stuff. I won easily. I smashed all you. I really hope you weren't born in 2022, like it says, because that's kind of worrying.
They never stood a chance. I completely destroyed everyone else by a mile, and I've never shot a real gun before. The closest thing was either a BB gun or a crossbow. Well, I did shoot a shotgun that one time. And none of those things have rapid fire, so I'm probably on a watch list now. Again. Anyways, if you're wondering what Population 1 is, if you've somehow not heard of it, basically, it's a Fortnite clone. You shoot things in VR. By things, I mean people. It's genuinely a fair bit of fun. Now, the game did, come out for free after being a paid game for a while. Probably because meta needs validation through player numbers just in the same way how I need validation through meaningless numbers on the internet. I mean, it kinda worked. As far as I'm aware, Population 1's player count has boosted. Don't take that for fact. I'm not having any research on that. The way I know this is just there's an overwhelming amount of very young children in the games, which is honestly the best way to figure out how games like Population 1 are doing is just how many young children there are. Another good way to measure this is just how many new people there are. The second game I ever played with my friend, actually, we won. We won the Battle Royale, first place. So there are two options, both of which I'm willing to believe, and they are A, the game is flooded with prepubescent Fortnite players actually able to afford the game rather than waste money on it instead of V-Bucks, or B, I and my friend as well, although he wasn't in this recording, are just way too good with guns and need to be watched. I mean, considering the fact I've played 3 games and am personally responsible for about 12 people's deaths, so take that as you will. Now, jokes and basic first impressions aside, what was actually good about it? Well, the guns felt pretty hefty to me, there's actually some weight there. Obviously not really, we don't have the technology readily available for Newton's laws to be applied to a game and have effects in the real world, but it did a pretty good job of simulating it. Especially the recoil. Damn that recoil, it has screwed me over so much. The gun physics overall worked well, and I'm sure it's not the most realistic situation, but Pop 1 did a pretty good job. It was really satisfying swinging a gun out and just peeking around a corner military style. It is a genuinely decent bit of fun to just mess around with your friends and play Fortnite in VR, whether or not you like the actual Fortnite. Now, other basic gameplay mechanics are a bit weird, especially the reloading and inventory management systems. It kind of feels like they're a bit clunky and lacking, which is not a place to be in a fast-paced shooting game, VR or no. The problem I have with reloading is that it just doesn't feel realistic enough. A really big part of these games is their reloading. VR just makes it so much cooler and immersive, but Pop 1 really sits in between great immersion and just pressing a button, to be honest. The gun switching thing is also kind of weird. I originally thought that you couldn't drop a gun or materials at first, and so after watching a friend of mine, I had to go back and completely rewrite this part of the script. which is honestly a bit of a problem with the tutorial system as a whole, which we'll get into a bit more later. I'm about 90% sure you can't even move the guns around in your inventory. If you really want to, it's going to be a whole process of like picking up and switching items that you really won't have the time for. That's pretty much my biggest gripe with the game. The inventory and reloading system is kind of primitive and can be much better, especially when considering the fact that in VR you can use your body as a holster, allowing for a much more immersive and full experience. I don't know, it's not necessarily needed, but that's just my opinion. Oh, that and no solo mode or duo mode. There's only squads, and that's actually 3 people. Mandatory too, you can't just be alone. And someone like me who, as a YouTuber of any caliber, would rather not have other people's name tags and voices in my videos, that's kind of a problem. Another issue I had was the lack of a more in-depth tutorial. I know that a lot of what you learn about this game is through experience, but some stuff was just never explained. The inventory system certainly wasn't. You also can't jump for some reason, which led me to looking like an idiot in the training area.
Yeet. They didn't tell me how to jump. How do you jump in this game?
I don't know. I've got a lot of criticism for Population 1 since it's a major game and is expecting a massive influx of young players. It feels like its tutorial system and quality of life features are lacking. I will give it this, there's a large variety of weapons in the game, but of course I usually figure out what the category they fit into by shooting them rather than just knowing. I feel that Population 1 has a lot that just wasn't done well, but at the very least, you aren't just 2 hands like in many VR games. And hey, if any shooter of any kind can keep me coming back multiple times, then it's probably worth it. Not to mention the fact that, well, it's free now, so it costs you nothing but time to try it out. Or in my case, the cost might be me being on a list. Hey everyone, if you are for some reason a viewer coming back to my channel, don't worry. I will hopefully be posting sometime soon again. I know it's been like 3 months. If you have somehow continuously come back in that time, thank you. I don't think anyone has but my friends, but just in case. Sorry about the weird recording stuff. I thought Oculus was recording at 16:9 now, but I'm still unsure why it's not doing that. I probably did something wrong, but hey, thank you for watching either way. Maybe click on one of these 2 videos if you enjoyed it, have been watching all the way to the end, and tell me which one was better, because this is the one that YouTube thinks that you'll enjoy, and this is the one that I think you'll enjoy. Thank you for watching, and I will see you hopefully sometime soon. If I don't, have a good rest of your life, I guess.
Challenge, make a friend. It's just like real life, and I'm doing just as well.